Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Clouds TV as flight number 124 airborne. Welcome on board. What a great success from Chelsea Football Club yesterday. Total domination from Chelsea football team as we smashed Leicester City at the King Power Stadium yesterday. It was an amazing performance. The euphoria on the game yesterday was astronomically beautiful. And today we're gonna sit down and delve into the nitty gritty of what transpired into our winning ways yesterday. Players that were on top of their game, players that could not really live up to expectation. We are here. We're gonna talk about it. And actually, yesterday, too bad, the Gunners were being demolished by who else? By the Peacock team, Liverpool United or Liverpool FC, whatever they call themselves. But then we will bring that topic in within a few minutes after the discussions. But yeah, we're here again. We're streaming. All my guys are here, ready. They can ready to let it go. What's up, guys? What you doing? I have here with me. I have Steven with me. I have Hamsmaster. Then I have Chrissy. Then Harry. Harry, our new member joining us today. It's gonna be hot of fire. Nothing else but football. Welcome on board once again. As usual, your host, Nee Zion. We're here to talk about the wonderful game that took place at the King Power Stadium yesterday. What's up, guys, and how you all doing?
Doing great. Man?
Yeah, all good, thank you. I've got it working.
Great, Harry. Nice to have you here. The first time to have Harry on the platform. It's nothing else but just football. Harry, I know you be a little bit nervous, but don't be. Just feel comfortable in your own seat and just talk football. All right. Okay, let's get it going. Let me give a shout out to friends and families and members of this platform for that have been here for quite a long time. I have Gunaveta, another wonderful friend from YouTube, and then also Twitter. Another Care, is it Cares? So I can't say the last name, but he says big up, Nate Zion, big up to you. Brother, I don't want to say your name wrongly, but yeah, Care, if I will say it that one. He says big up to me and big up to you too, my brother. It's always nice to see Gunaveta and people that support this platform. As all the time, keep your questions coming and do me a favor, share this stream wherever platform you find yourself, either Twitter, Facebook, wherever, because we always welcoming new members to our platform. Also, if you want to be part of it, you can join our Discord server where you get the opportunity to speak. We wouldn't keep you on a long queue just like others does, but we will give you the room to have your say. And then keep the Discord the chat also very disciplined, and let's respect each other's opinion as we type. So yeah, let's get it going, guys. It was a demolition time for Chelsea yesterday, 3-0, as I predicted. What do you guys think, Chrissy? Let's start from Chrissy on the right hand side. Chrissy's not ready. Harry, what was your analysis on the game yesterday?
Yeah, look, it was really good actually. To be honest,
The match was.
Hold on, Chrissy. I'll get back to you. I'll come back to you, Chrissy. Right after Harry. Yeah, right after Harry is done, I'll come back to you. All right, Harry, carry on.
So yeah, I was worried that the international break might play a little bit of a part, being the early game, but
Mhm.
but no, we looked really fresh. I think obviously we had a few injuries, didn't we? And Mason Mount was out with his wisdom tooth. So we had some players that were quite fresh, and yeah, we looked really good, really good.
Good. Let's get back to Harry. I mean, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, Chrissy. Chrissy, take it over.
Of course, yeah. I really enjoyed the game.
Okay.
The game was much better than the games we've been playing.
Mm-hmm.
Our attackers were much more decisive. They were creating the chances as we expected them to, and as usual, we're solid. Our
Yeah.
players were on their A game. Although there were some few performances that we could talk about that were not exceptional, but as a whole, the team played so well, and we commend them for that.
Great, great. Thank you for that. Thank you for taking time to say that. Also, Hans Master, what was your submission on the game entire 90 minutes yesterday?
Oh, what a game that was! I mean, I'm just so proud of the boys. Just because like the Burnley, 1-1 draw, and the players had to step up, and the 12 it's not always good to play a 12:30 game, especially after a Champions League game or international break, especially. But the way we started is like we played good from the minute one to the 93rd minute. We were exceptional, and this we barely. It's like I never seen us play as good as that. I mean, I mean we had other good performances, but I think this is our best performance. I generally think we were really good in that game. Like I couldn't fault anything. But the only fault I'll probably give is like we couldn't score more, and then but there's nothing to complain because our forward were much better. This is how our attention is like to take all the chances that is there, and we took some of them. We scored 3 goals, so what is there to complain? To be honest,
Great,
you know.
great. Steven,
I mean, I said it multiple times throughout like the live stream and stuff. Just sort of reinforcing it. I think we would have been fools to think that we would have had a fast start if we were speaking before the game because the international break and
Yeah.
12:30 kickoff. But literally from minute one, we're out the blocks, sprinting, closing them down, putting the pressure on, and we controlled the game. I mean, 3 goals, that's success.
Here's success.
And a clean sheet to go with it. I mean, Mendy, along with anyone that's played in that defence, like obviously it's got to be different numbers for them. But for Mendy, out of the 12 games, he's played 11 in the Prem, and he's kept 7 clean sheets. He's only conceded in 4 games. I mean,
Yeah.
if that doesn't tell you our defence is better than solid. Like it's world class at the moment. That's fact. Our defence is the best across the top 5 domestic leagues, joint with Napoli, who played today but have played 1 extra game after today. We also have the best in the Champions League. That says something for our defence. And we don't just sit back like people think because we play a back 5. We actually go out and try to attack.
That's right. That's right. I know.
You saw it yesterday. You saw it yesterday. 12:30 kickoff. We're going out. We're attacking. 3 goals. I mean, Kante scored for goodness sake. That's a rarity in itself.
Yeah, we'll come back to Kante's scoring, and then Christian Pulisic. As he just said, Kante was on the score sheet, and then Christian Pulisic on the score sheet. And I'm gonna start from Kwesi. Kwesi, what do you think? The return of Christian Pulisic for a long term injury. He was on the score sheet. Let's talk about the players on the score sheet, Kwesi.
Yeah. Christian Pulisic was indeed very, very good, especially coming off the bench. He indeed performed in such a manner that pleased the fans. I couldn't really believe that he could play a false 9 role so effectively than Kai Havertz. We know is familiar with that position.
Right.
He was really on top. That's all I could say about him.
How about Igola Conte and then the rude boy Rudiger on the score sheet?
Rude boy.
Rudiger's favorite team is Leicester now. He always beats Leicester City. He had a very
I think we're losing Kwesi over there with the network. Kwesi, can you get yourself out and then come back again? Yeah, Harry, take over. We have a long-term injury from Christian Pulisic. He came back and he was on the score sheet. Was he going to be part of your man of the match players?
Well, to be honest, I think you could make a case for everyone being man of the match. I was really impressed by Reece James. I know he didn't score, but he was, he looks so fit at the minute. But no, with Pulisic, I think he needs to be 100%. I think if you get Pulisic at 80%, he's just not, he's half the player he should be. But we know what he can do. We saw obviously after the lockdown, he was crucial for us, and he's got that ability like Hazard, just to take it around a few people. And we don't really have too many of those in the team. But
right,
if we fit, he's a crucial player for us.
If I could just understand what you just said, you mean that he's the kind of player that we need that can break through a low block team, and we'll be lacking that kind of player for quite a while. That's what you're saying, because that's what Hazard used to do, right, Harry?
Yeah, we have many players. I don't think that can just take it past 2 or 3 players and just, as you said, break the lines. Because
Mhm.
we players like Hudson-Odoi that I think can do that, but obviously he had a serious injury. I think it's just taken him a bit of time just to get that sort of fitness and speed back. But I think then two of the 2 players that do have that ability, Ziyech
Yeah.
is more of a player to pick the pass out. I don't see Mason Mount as that sort of player. I think he's hard worker, but I don't think he's naturally that sort of player that can take it past 2 or 3 players. I think he's got the pace. But no, I mean, Pulisic, a little bit like Robin as well. Once they're 100%, they can take it past 3 or 4 players, and sometimes you need that tick in the game where it's tight.
Great. Great. Thank you for taking time to give me that statistics and then that information from Christian Pulisic. Let's get back to Hans Monster. What do you think of the return of Christian Pulisic and then the performance of N'Golo Kante and the rude boy Rudiger?
Well, no, look, what a name to start, Christian Pulisic. I mean, this is the player who's been out of action. He had so much injury problems with us, and I'm very happy with his performance, especially when he came off the bench as a central striker, which I didn't expect it to come as a striker, but I mean, it's an interesting sub. Um, but his impact was like he missed an opportunity when Ziyech passed the ball. That was a good chance, and he played the role as comfortable, and he was good at what he did. And he also scored a goal as well. But overall,
Hmm.
yeah, he's the type of player we need. I mean, if he's a fit Pulisic, if he's up his game, he's a very good player. It's just like if he can sustain this, then he'll be amazing. So yeah, good on him. Good on him from Pulisic.
And
Um,
what about the others? N'Golo Kante's
uh,
performance and then the header from rude boy Rudiger.
yeah, I will speak on Rudiger first. Thing is about Rudiger, he needs to sign the contract. So, I mean, every time, I mean, he normally has like a goal against Leicester or something. Somehow, I don't know
Half his
how.
goals in the Premier League have come against Leicester.
That's the thing.
He's
It's
got 8
crazy.
goals, I think it is, and he's scored 4 against Leicester.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, yeah. I mean, it came from a corner. He didn't have much defending to do, to be honest, because our back line was just so good. So, I mean, he looked very comfortable in there. He looked like he was having fun, and so is the other defenders. So, yeah, he was good. He was good. Yeah.
Okay. Steven, what do you think of the performance from these great teams and these 3 players, the return of Christian, and then the do you think that I know you said you just said something. I mean, Hams just said something about Rudiger need to sign. To me, Rudiger is ready to sign, but until are they ready to meet the needs of Antonio Rudiger? Is the question. So, Steven, what do you think of the Christian Pulisic and Rudiger situation?
I mean, if you're a Chelsea fan and you didn't like seeing Pulisic back on the pitch again after he got injured on international duty last time round with the men's team, I don't know what to say to you. The guy, when he's fit, is absolutely class. He can change games for us if we need him to, or he can just come on and just help us keep possession. He's got pace.
Yeah.
He can hold the ball up in the corner flag or just spin around players to keep the possession.
Hmm.
I mean, it was nice to see him come back with a goal as well. I think that's now 2 consecutive Saturdays he scored on as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully, it's like a Robin situation and like Ruben situation. As they got older, their injuries like got less frequent. At least it appears that way with Ruben.
Hmm.
So hopefully the same happens with Pulisic and he can start to like play more often because let's be honest, yeah, the right side is locked down by Mount, right?
Right.
We all know this. Lukaku is going to be the striker, and then we tend to rotate between Havertz and Timo Werner.
Right.
But we also know that Havertz or Mount, if we need them to, I mean, Mount's not really done it much. I've not seen Havertz do it much, but I'm sure they can play in that middle, like 2 central midfielder role if we really need them to. And
Right.
then Pulisic potentially forces himself in on the left because we haven't really had someone lock that spot in. That'd be interesting. On Rudiger, I mean, I called it. I said he'll score right before it happened. It's just something about where he was, like he was on the keeper to begin with. It just seemed like he was going to at least get a flick onto the ball.
Yeah.
Something told me Frank was coming from that.
Yeah, from what you just said earlier on, how people think Chelsea are just a defensive team, I think they just cannot understand or misunderstood the way we play because we're playing with a back five. They think we're just a defensive team, or the matter of fact that, or the matter of fact that we don't let goals in. They may think that we're playing a defensive team. What do you think, Harry, about this defensive situation going on? All right, Stephen.
I think we're.
All I'm going to say quickly is that if they want to criticize us for not conceding, their aim of football is to keep clean sheets and score goals. That's what we're doing. If you hate, then you're obviously a rival fan and you don't watch our games, so you think we're defensive when in reality we're not that defensive.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm going to say on the matter.
Okay. What do you think, Harry? Then I'll come back to Chrissy. Harry, take it over.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I think we're more of a back three anyway. I mean, when you look at Chilwell and Reece James, half the time they're creating the most of the chances anyway. And we've got so many goals from wing backs this season. You
Yeah.
almost forget about Alonso. Alonso's been on the bench, but at the start of the season he was scoring free kicks. And he'd walk into any team, I think, in a wing back position. He's one of the best in the world at it. But the form of Chilwell, Reece James, Azpilicueta can do that role. We kind of attack as a five and defend as a five. That's how I sort of see it. And as Stephen was saying, we're barely defending. We're just so solid from the front, and we win the ball back half the pitch. So if that's a defensive team, and Paul Scholes wants to say that, that's absolutely fine by me.
That's great. Now we get into the segment where everybody can just chip in whatever you want to say about our football club, whatever you want to say. But I'll go to Quissy before I get into that segment. Quissy, what's your submission of the return of Christian Pulisic and the Rude Boy Rudiger on the score sheet, and also the performance from N'Golo Kante?
When I look at someone like Pulisic, of course, Pulisic has the ability, and I'm so glad that he showcased that ability yesterday by becoming a super sub for us. I enjoyed his performance. I enjoyed the way he was able to break the lines of the Leicester City defense and cause problems for their three centre backs. So, of course, it was a dominant attacking performance from Christian Pulisic. When I look at Rudiger too have been excellent. Right. Actually, our defenders are very good when it comes to set pieces, and we are so glad that we have such defenders like that. Thiago Silva, Christensen himself, Rudiger himself, and the other defenders, so good at set pieces. So it's no surprise that Rudiger would score goals like that. I think someone said something about the weakness of Leicester. I think one of these Chelsea players, when they were doing that interview with him, and he said that Leicester City's weakness is defending set pieces. So obviously it was also one of the weapons we used so as to get something out of them. And N'Golo Kante, yes, was really, really dominant. I was listening to one preview about the lineups that Leicester City brought up and the lineup that Chelsea brought up. So you compare the likes of Sumari, N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, and Ndidi. It was clear that Leicester had much more robust midfielders who can be aggressive at times in trying to win the ball back from us. But this is what separates the Chelsea midfield from the Leicester midfield and the other midfield. They are dominant. They are better on the ball. N'Golo Kante, even though he's a physical player, he's also better on the ball. He knows how to attack the spaces, and his involvement in the attacking third helped Chelsea a lot. And I was also impressed with the goal that he scored. So he should keep it up.
Thank you for the submission. Thank you very much. All right, cool.
I think the graphic came up during the game after the Rudiger goal. I think it was something like Leicester conceded 20 goals or 20 headed goals from set pieces since September last year, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's actually joint most in the Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we misexploit it. Perfect.
Yeah, Gilmore in the chat said that N'Golo Kante will always give a 7 out of 10 performance. Also, he said it's just some rare cases where he decided to control games like he did against Leicester City. Then Gilmore said, indeed, he is just an overrated John Obi Mikel. I guess they're same players from the same country. They're coming from the same country, so yeah, he's a brother of John Obi Mikel. They're all Nigerians, I should say. All right, so now everybody can chip in. Whatever you want to say about the game yesterday, you can just chip in. Go ahead. I'm going to start from Harry. Harry's a little bit quiet, so I'm going to start from Harry first. Harry, anything you want to say about the game?
Yeah, well, I think...
and our title ambitions. Do you think we're going to win it? Say anything.
I think we are, but I'm going to keep that quiet for now. But probably the main thing I took from yesterday's game that didn't really get mentioned was Trevor Chalobah. You know, it's his first season in the Premier League.
That's great. Yeah.
There was obviously talk going on loan, and I know that sort of fell through with the Kunde deal, but he's been fantastic. It almost feels like doesn't matter who plays in that back three or back five, whatever you want to call it, they just perfectly. You know, even Sarr, I think he had a good game against Brentford. You almost forget that yesterday we weren't playing Christensen, Aspilicueta. You know, these are players that will come in, I assume, against Juventus. And it just feels like that's because we've got one of the coaches in the world. It almost feels like you could take one out, put one in, and it just feels like it's exactly the same starting 11. But it's very hard to predict the Tuchel lineup, but it doesn't seem to matter. You know, you forget that we haven't got Kovacic, we haven't got Lukaku at the minute. It's just such a strong squad. And I just think that's why we'll win the league. If you look at Liverpool's bench yesterday, I actually didn't know 3 or 4 of the players. And
I think it was like 4 teenagers, wasn't it?
And obviously at the minute, it's not that bad, but it's still early in the season. I think it's 12 games in or 11 games in. That's going to tell.
12 games.
Yeah, and a couple of injuries, and then suddenly it's gonna look quite different, and that's going to work in our favour. I really think that's why I think we'll win the league, but I'll keep it quiet for now.
Yeah, everybody's trying to be quiet. I'm very bold on it. I'm very bold. I'm not hiding anything. It's just the feelings that I have, and I can hide it. I just feel Chelsea is gonna win it no matter what. So
yeah.
I think that's the difference between us and like Liverpool and probably Man City as well. Like, okay, it's a lot of injuries for Liverpool, so it's a bit different. Like, you look at it, Harvey Elliott's been out because of obviously that horrible injury. Firmino's out. Joe Gomez is out. He don't start for them normally anyway. Curtis Jones is out. Naby Keita's out. James Milner out and Robertson out, right?
yeah.
That's a lot of first team quality that they were missing. They've had to name a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and 2 19-year-olds in their bench because of their depth. I mean, to be fair, they were comfortable, so they could have brought them on anyway. And I think that's something that needs to be touched on. Is like everyone talks about, it's Liverpool, Chelsea, City, but arguably we've got the best strength and depth, or at least out of us and Liverpool we have. City, I think you can make the same argument. We've got better depth than them. Probably not quality-wise as such. In terms of players that can come in and do a job, we've probably got better.
Okay.
Well, I was just actually as well, because, you know, you look at our squad, we've got a young squad. I mean, most of our top players are under 25. And And obviously, a lot of these Liverpool and Man City players, they've been established players for a number of years. So De Bruyne, Salah,
Yeah.
give it a couple more years. Obviously, we want to win the league this year, but give it a couple of years, we're going to be the strongest team. They're going to have to do big rebuilding projects, and I think they'll probably change the manager by that stage. So yeah, it's all.
When you're done, I just want to quickly jump in because obviously the teams are out and there's a surprise in the City team.
Okay, we'll let you give us that news right after Harry is done. Harry, go ahead, take it over. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was kind of everything. No, go ahead.
Okay. Quincy, you have anything you want to say before Steven comes in?
Okay, for me, I want to talk about Rudiger's contract issues.
Okay.
For me, I'm really worried and I'm not happy with what the club is doing. Rudiger has actually been a faithful servant to us. And if you look at the sort of defenders we have, there's none of them like Rudiger. He reminds us of these old school defenders, the way they are able to put their bodies on the line, like Carvalho, the Vidic, who else? Those old school defenders.
Right.
So I feel that if they increase, none of the young boys in the Chelsea team also go to Abramovich and say that they also want the salary that Rudiger is also earning. No one will do that. So I think they should give him everything he wants. Everything he wants. Because the kind of player he is, he's someone who is aggressive defensively, very, very aggressive. Even if he wants to, he can also save his team by sacrificing himself for cards.
Right.
Even injuring the opposition just to make sure that his team wins, like Ramos, virtually like Ramos. And this person is asking for money to increase his pay to a certain standard.
Yeah.
Just give him the money and let him play for us. Because if we lose him, I don't know who can actually replace him. Not that we wouldn't get replacement, but the kind of temperament he has, there is no one in this modern day football who has such a temperament as his. So if we want Rudiger to sign the contract, we have to give him the money he wants.
Great.
As simple as that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to give us that information and the way you think. All right. Go ahead with Steven. Let us know the update on the City game.
Okay, so obviously we knew some of the players that were going missing were going to be De Bruyne and like Grealish, and obviously Ferran Torres is still out because of his foot.
Okay.
On the bench, they've got Gabriel Jesus and Riyad Mahrez, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've chosen to start 19-year-old Cole Palmer over both Mahrez and Gabriel Jesus for the game.
I think they have a very big game coming up against is it PSG, right? You think that could be the reason why?
Even still.
And do you think they're prioritizing the Champions League over the league?
I don't think they're prioritizing one over the other. I think they feel like they can go in the Champions League whilst also having success in the Premier League.
Yeah, Jerome also said down here Palmer is starting for City. Let me go back and read some of these messages. They're in the chat. Yeah, some in the chat. Not having to start our big man Lukaku up front, but still coming out victorious shows our depth and work in our favor. Liverpool are suffering from not having added to their midfield, relying on a fantastic fast 11 and nothing much else. When Milner is your key man, speaks a lot about how fast standards ever have fallen, how fast standards have fallen. Then we have also one from Jerome. Jerome, Dujan said that it's not Dujan. Gilmore said if Liverpool drop points in 2 more games, we are continuing winning. Then I can come out with chest. Then that the title is coming to the bridge. For now, I'm saying second place is is a certainty at that. So Jerome said hopefully Everton make City drop points or even beat them. Lots of
Just seeing what
comments coming
Jerome
from
said
Rudy.
about Liverpool might have Everton soon. That's a good game. Merseyside derby.
Hmm.
That's actually not next week. It's like a week and a half from now. It's a midweek game.
Yeah.
It's the 1st of December, which will fall on the Wednesday, if my math's right. Yeah, because Everton are playing today, 21st. They play next Sunday as well. And 3 days after Monday. So yeah, it'll be Everton Liverpool a midweek game on a Wednesday.
Yeah. All
And
right.
it's at Goodison Park as well. So who knows?
Yeah, I want to say, guys, thank you for being part of this. It's just in half an hour stream. I tried not to do a long hour stream, but then we'll get there once we get things set up. We'll be doing an hour stream again. But I want to say thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Harry, Steven, and then Hamsmaster, who's been having dinner whilst we're having a chat over here. Thank you, Hamsmaster. Well, what do you think, Harry? Was it okay?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Finally I got it working anyway. I'm not very good with technology, so
Yeah.
yeah, I think I need to start practicing a bit more. Don't be fooled by the glasses. It's I'm certainly not that geeky with technology.
Yeah, yeah. Very soon now, everyone will be working out with some camera to make it some camera working. But yeah, it's okay for now. We're doing it. Thank you very much for being here, Harry. It's always a pleasure. You guys can stay in the backstage whilst I conclude the stream. Well, guys, it's a review for the game that took place at the King Power Stadium yesterday, and it was not no one else but Chelsea, the league leaders, that played against I think the 10th place or ninth place Leicester City. They were not in the best shape, but then at least we make them pay for the kind of football they played on the ground. And I predicted 3-0, and I've predicted 3-0 in many of our games, and most of the time I have it right. So, guys, if you want to predict in any Chelsea game, always go for 3-0. Don't settle for nothing, but go for a 3-0. Jerome said that Thiago Silva best defender in the world, and I agree with you, Jerome. Um, Gilmore said Rudiger is a player with personality who shows dedication to what to win, to want to win the game compared to Christian. Oh, come on, Christensen, who is nothing more than Maldini. Come on, we don't want to prolong his hologram. So please, please.
Firstly, Harry, do you guys see what I mean about the agenda now?
We're having a good positive and then something. I mean, good win from
How are you
yesterday.
still throwing
How are
shade
you
at
bringing in
Christensen?
Christensen? Did not play yesterday. Why do you bring Christensen in here? Gilmore, why? You're starting the fight already. You're starting the fight. You know you're winding Steven up already. Come on, Gilmore. Come on.
I don't get the agenda, man. The guy can't give credit when Christensen plays well. Yeah, I
What,
don't particularly like Jorginho. I give him credit when he
Harry?
plays well. It's
Harry, what do you think is this comparison between these Christensen? Some people have a lot of agenda against Christensen. What's your opinion on this Christensen agenda?
Well, to be honest, I don't know why we're comparing them. Anyway, I'm glad they're just all playing for Chelsea. I mean, I always predict Christian to score on Twitter, to be honest. So that was a long-running joke, but I think he's done really well. I wasn't sure he was mentally up to the challenge under
Yeah.
Sarri. There was always fear in a back four. Maybe he was a bit shaky, but he's so comfortable on the ball, and obviously we play out the back all the time. So it doesn't really matter whether it's Silva starting or him. I feel like again, it's same difference really.
Yeah, I believe that he's a very good addition to our football team. He's played anytime he's been called upon to come and play. He plays very well. The only shambolic performance from him was the game against Barcelona. That's some years ago, and everybody's forgiving Christensen for that performance. Since then, he's been world class to my opinion. He's been world class. What do you think, Quisi, of Christensen?
For me, this is what I would have to say. Look, each and everybody on this planet here is different. So there is no way we should be comparing Rudiger to Christensen. How Rudiger chooses to defend is different from how Christensen chooses to defend.
Absolutely.
So we should rather appreciate the players with the abilities they bring on the table, they contribute to the team to make it better.
Yeah,
So it won't be fine or it won't be nice if
they're all the same style of
Rudiger is
players.
better than Christensen because Rudiger, they are not the same, they are different.
Uh,
Everyone with his or her individual skill set. So
right.
never should we be comparing and to highlight the flaws of because every player, even Messi, Ronaldo, who we say that they are the best players in the world, they all have their errors.
The flaws,
But
yeah.
because they are fanboys of these players,
Mhm.
they don't want to highlight their deficiencies. They always emphasize on their strengths. So Christensen is a fantastic player. Rudiger is a fantastic player. Let us accept it and move on. They are all our players.
Uh,
Let's support them.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Even from my own perspective in my own house, I have twin boys, and my twin boys, none of them are all the same. They were all born on the same day, just a couple seconds apart from them, but they're different. They're all different. We have one that is laid back, and we have one that is wild. So my boys is just like football players,
Um,
you know.
is that
Yeah,
so this one, I think a lot of us are quite like, Luis Enrique.
yeah. Luis Enrique.
Yeah. Listen to this on Manchester United links. It's today April Fool's Day.
Hmm.
Yeah, he ain't
Oh,
going to United.
yeah.
He said on United links, is today April Fool's Day.
How is it April?
Oh, because the whole thing is April Fool's Day, isn't it? Like everyone says things, it's not true,
Yeah.
and like all that. So that's what he was saying. Like, is it April Fool's Day? Like, basically,
Oh.
he ain't gotta go. He's happy with the job he's got now, basically.
Well, actually, thank you guys for being here. It's been wonderful. Harry, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. We talk about it. Sometimes we go live, sometimes we don't. We speak, we have the voice chat behind going live. So this is actually live right now on YouTube. And then sometimes we also don't go live with it. We just sit around and have a chat, have a Chelsea chat from the Discord server. But then it's been wonderful. If you haven't subscribed, Harry, just look for the channel. I have the channel link in the chat so you can follow up and then subscribe to it if you haven't. And then also you can share the video for me. We always accepting new members to this little YouTube platform. We always getting close. We're getting close to 2K. So yeah, we know we count on you to always help us and get there to 2K subscribers. You know, maybe Harry doesn't know me that much, but then I'll disclose a little bit more of myself to Harry as time goes on.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here. Harry and the guys in the back, I mean, in the Discord server will stay there for a little bit whilst I talk to everybody. And then I want to say, Leo Desperandos, as usual, it was a beautiful win from Chelsea yesterday, and we keep on. We want to keep on with the winning ways. We are on a run, and we can't stop. Thank you, Leo Desperandos. I'm going to hope. Be good and be safe wherever you are. See you again.